Johnny Rotten, Lydon, moved into his 45 Gunter Grove apartment in 1977, around the time the Sex Pistols were reaching peak notoriety in the punk scene. This was a pivotal moment in time for the band, just before the release of their only studio album, Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, and shortly before Sid Vicious joined as bassist. The apartment was a block or two away from King's Road, the heart of punk fashion and culture, where Vivienne Westwood and Malcolm McClaren's boutique, SEX, drew in London's creatives and rebels alike. Lydon's apartment was more than just a place to live. It was a hub for his some in the local punk scene, including the likes of Polystyrene of X-Ray Specs and most of Rotten's friends, including Sid Vicious and his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen. Wild times, wild parties, songs and furies. The flat, like much of the punk housing in London during that time, was worn down for those who were alive with a wild, raw energy that defined the punk movement. In the apartment, there is a story of Polystyrene being locked in a closet while partying in the apartment. It became notorious for the chaotic lifestyle shared by Lydon and his circle, embodying the anti-establishment ethos they all embraced. Here, Lydon further solidified his Johnny Rotten persona and his boundary-crossing image of the rebellious spirit of the Sex Pistols. But all wasn't merry. Eventually, the dynamic between Lydon, Sid and Nancy reflected deep issues within the Sex Pistols as they headed quickly toward disintegration. The growing tension and chaos surrounding Sid and Nancy became emblematic of the band's unraveling, and after the Pistols disbanded in 1978, Sid and Nancy moved to New York, where their tragic story continued until her death later that year. Lydon later reflected on his sadness at losing Sid, partly blaming Nancy's influence and the destructive lifestyle they shared. In punk history, Gunter Grove stands as a symbolic backdrop to this turbulent period, a reminder of the raw energy and painful decline of Sid and the Sex Pistols. Lydon lived at 45 Gunter Grove until the Sex Pistols disbanded in early 1978 after their ill-fated US tour. Following the breakup, he eventually left the apartment to pursue new projects, including forming the band Public Image.